Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and staying home to keep yourself safe from COVID-19. Students, in the previous module, we discussed about this chapter, our Constitution, and we discussed the rules and laws, the Constitution, need of the Constitution, vision and values of the Indian Constitution, and also we discussed about the preamble of the Constitution. Here in this module, we are going to discuss some salient features of Indian Constitution. So let us begin, students. The salient features of Indian Constitution. The founding father of Indian Constitution tried to incorporate the principle cherished by the leaders of freedom struggle, so that whatever the leaders of freedom struggle created the principle for our country, that principles were incorporated in the constitution. They also tried to adopt the best features of the constitution of England, USA, Canada, Ireland, etc. So from different countries, the different best features were introduced, included in our Indian constitution. Therefore, our constitution is a combination of good features of several constitutions. The need and aspirations of the people have also been translated into ideals and rules in the constitutions. So whatever different needs and aspiration, the goal of the people are there, desire of the people are there, that also have been incorporated or translated or given in the trying to introduce in the constitution of our country. Here, the different features taken from the constitution of different country here given. Like from the British constitution, what are the things taken in our Indian constitution? That constitutional head of the state like the Queen of UK. So as you know, students, this constitutional head of the state like the Queen of UK is there. Similarly, in our country, that president is there at similar post. The idea of preamble, we also have in Indian constitution there is a preamble. The cabinet system, so cabinet system are that different ministers, cabinet ministers are formed for giving the special responsibility in the central government. So that kind of system is existing in our country also. The parliamentary type of government, so in our country also there is parliamentary type of government, that parliament has two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Bicameral legislature, bicameral means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is there, making Lok Sabha the lower house more powerful than the Rajya Sabha the upper house. So that concept is also taken in our country. Collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers, so Council of Ministers are made collectively responsible for any kind of decision in the government, so that an idea is also given in our constitution. Lok Sabha speaker used to be there, that similar to in our country also. The privileges of the members of parliament, so different privileges are given to the members, importance given to the members of parliament, so similar importance is given in our country also, that all these features have been taken from the British constitution. Similarly, some features to taken from the American constitution, like a written constitution. As you know that, student, the British constitution is not a written constitution, but American constitution is written constitution, so that concept taken in our country, as Indian constitution is also a written constitution. The federal system, that central government concept is there, that there are a number of states and that states are governed and united by a central government, so that way there is a federal system. So in our country that system is existing. Head of the state is called president. So it is very clear in our country also that head of the state is called president. Provision for a Supreme Court. So there is Supreme Court in our country also. Provinces are known as states. So different provinces that you can say the states concept is existing in our country also. Rajya Sabha in India represents the states like the US Senate. So Rajya Sabha is there. The members of Rajya Sabha are representing the different states in the country. So that way, that concept is taken in our country also. The Constitution of Canada. So from Constitution of Canada, India is known as Union of States. So this concept is taken. Constitution of Ireland. The concept of directive principle of state policy, which bind the executives to follow some principles. So that concept is taken in our country also. And Constitution of USSR, Soviet Sangh Rus, from that it was taken the fundamental duties. So the fundamental duties are assigned to the citizen of India. So that concept is taken from USSR Constitution. So these are the different features of different countries' constitution has been taken to Indian Constitution. Now, basic features of our constitution. First one is unique constitution. Means you know that meaning of unique. No other constitution like our constitution. The chief characteristic of the Constitution of India is its uniqueness. The best feature of many existing constitutions of the world were modified and adapted to our needs. So this was the concept taken to our country, constitution and conditions. Thus, Constitution of India is a combination of many good points of several constitutions. At the same time, the need and aspiration of the people were also not ignored, so that all were given proper importance in the Constitution of India. So that way it is unique constitution. Means it took a lot of different good features from the different countries' constitution and modified also if it was required and adopted to our needs and condition according to needs and condition, and thus the constitution is a combination of many good points of several constitutions. So that way it is a unique. The lengthiest constitution. So Indian constitution is the lengthiest, means the most lengthiest or most lengthy constitution is of our country only. The Constitution of India is the lengthiest and the most detailed constitution of the world. It is divided into 22 parts and has 395 articles, 12 schedules. So these different means information has been divided in these format: 22 part, 395 articles, 12 schedules. The Constituent Assembly spent around 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to complete its final draft, and on November 26, 1949 it was finally completed, but it was adopted and enforced on January 26, 1950, and this date, November 1949, we celebrate nowadays as a Constitution Day, and this January 26, 1950, this January 26 we celebrate as a Republic Day. Then next feature is the written constitution. So Indian constitution is a written constitution. It was drafted and enacted by the Constituent Assembly specially elected for this purpose. and it was presided over by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was the chairman of its drafting committee. So this way, these three main features are there of Indian Constitution. One more feature is given here, rigid and flexible. Rigid means not ready to change, and flexible means ready to change. Means Indian Constitution has both the feature, not easy to change also, but can be changed as per need and requirement. A constitution is called rigid or flexible on the basis of the procedure of its amendments. So how easily the amendments possible in the constitution, that much it will be flexible, and how difficult process is there, that much that constitution will be rigid. So a rigid constitution is one which cannot be amended easily. So Indian constitution is rigid. On the contrary, a flexible constitution can be amended easily. So both the features are existing in our Indian constitution. The strength of rigid constitution is that it is stable. So this is the importance of rigid constitution, that it is stable, it is not changing again and again, and is a guarantee against hasty changes, fast changes, regular changes. So that way, this is very important for a constitution to be rigid. A flexible constitution is considered progressive in nature and helpful in development of the nation, as we know that the different things change with the passage of time. Need and requirement of the people change with the passage of time. So certain changes are required with the passage of time, and that way this feature has had been included in the Indian Constitution while framing it. Keeping this in mind, the Constitution of India is a combination of both rigid and as well as flexible. So it is not only a sacred document, you can say sacred, a holy document, that is a framework for democratic governance, but also an instrument that may require modification. So time to time it is required to do some amendments in the constitution. That way accordingly there are three methods of amendments given. So let us see that three methods. First, the procedure of amendments of Indian Constitution, that is first one is simple majority. By simple majority, certain provisions of the Constitution can easily be changed by passing the amendment bill by simple majority in the parliament, which means the bill should be approved by a majority of the members present and voting in both the houses of parliament. So majority concept is here, means generally it is by more than two-third majority used to be there, or sometime it is simple majority more than 50, it is majority. So by special majority, amendment bills shall have to be approved by both the houses of parliament by absolute majority of total membership, means whether they are present in the parliament or not, so their voting or their majority means they will be counted in the majority. Two-third majority of the members present and voting, these both are required for this special majority, and most of the provision of our constitutions are amended by this method only. That absolute majority also by absolute majority of the total membership and two-third majority of members present and voting. Sometimes students it's happened that more members are absent in the constitution. Sorry, more members are absent in the parliament, and that time if voting will be done, so that should be two-third by of the present, and that two-third whatever present members are there, that two-thirds should be absolute majority also if we count all the members of the parliament. So whether they are present or absent, if all will be counted, and out of those, if two-third voting will be done in the favor of that amendment bill, so that will be taken as absolute majority as well as two-third majority of the members present and voting. So both of these processes are followed by most of the provision of our constitution when it was amended. Special majority and ratification. After the bill is passed by special majority in both the houses of parliament, it may be approved by the legislature of at least half of the total number of states. That means once it is passed by both the houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it may be approved by legislature in different states by half of the total number of states. Suppose 29 states or 28 states are there, so around more than or up to 14 states would be approving it, and that time it will be taken as special majority and ratification. So these are the different methods through which amendment in the Constitution of India are done. So Indian Constitution is dynamic. Dynamic meaning is changing, always moving. Means if that is in moving condition, changing condition, then you can say that thing is dynamic. So as in the previous slide we discussed that Indian Constitution can be changed with the passage of time according to need and requirement. So that way Indian Constitution is dynamic. Here it is given that whenever the need was felt, the Indian Constitution was suitably amended according to the relevant demands to achieve national goal or to eradicate certain evil practices like abolition of privy purse. Privy purse, student, you know, the king of the princely states who merged them with India after independence. Just after independence, many princely states were left by the Britishers independent, and it was left over them only whether they want to join with India or not. It was their own desire. So this way, that time many princely states joined with India willingly or forcibly, and there was a agreement done between them that with the princely states that were they were paid a fixed annual amount of money as a stipend for their wish or will to be with India, and that way they were given that huge amount of money as a stipend, and it was called privy purse. So this was abolished by an amendment in the constitution. Nationalization of bank, reservation of reservation for OBCs, right to information, right to education, reservation of seats in the local self bodies for women are some example which prove that Indian constitution is dynamic because these different changes which were made, these things were not included in the constitution at the time of framing or in the beginning. So afterward these things, these features were included in the Indian constitution, and that is showing that Indian constitution is changing or changed whenever it was required, and that way it is dynamic. So it is an ample proof of our commitment to transform India into a truly secular, socialist and democratic republic. So as we are taking such decisions in our constitution, so that is proving that India can be transformed into a truly secular, socialist and democratic republic. And of course it is very correct. So this was all about students. Today's in the topic. We'll meet in the next module. Now this is time to discuss homework, students. Here questions from your exercise only given. Question number 1, that D1 part. Cite 3 examples to prove that Indian constitution is quite dynamic. So whatever different changes are taking place are took place at different time to time. So that examples you have to write in this. Identify any 3 provisions which make the Constitution of India rigid as well as flexible. So as it is explained in the previous slides, that why it is rigid and why is it flexible. So that you have to explain. Explain the procedure of amending the Indian Constitution. So there are different 3 features of amendments, that 3 procedure of amendments you have to explain in this. And each part long answer type question given here. So that also from your exercise. Describe the composition and contribution of Constituent Assembly of India. So students, this topic has been discussed in the previous module which was discussed one day before. So from that module or from your textbook you can describe this, that how the different members were elected. They were representing the different communities, different religions, the women representatives, all that you have to explain in this. Not explain, describe. And describe any 5 salient features of Indian Constitution. So in the beginning of this module only, this salient features discussed. So that features you have to write in this question's answer. So this was all about today's topic, students. We'll meet in the next module. Till then, bye all of you.